Match week 6 of the MLS Next Pro season gets going from Toronto at York Lions Stadium, where TFC 2 take on New England Revolution 2. I'm Jack Edwards, delighted to be here with you in presenting this match, the first meeting between these sides here in 2024. Storied between these two teams. Let's see how they enter into today's match on the context of the season to this point. Looking for New England Revolution, 1 win through their first 4 games. Similar for Toronto, 1 win through 3 games. Both of these sides sitting on 3 points, looking to push themselves further up the Eastern Conference standings as the season begins to move on. Back-to-back home games now for Toronto FC2. A big chance for them to try and push themselves up after their first win of the season last time out against FC Cincinnati 2. That one being a 2-1 win in the home opener. This one, the third match in a row on the road for New England Revolution 2, looking to get their 3 points yet again after a strong 2023 in the head-to-heads between TFC 2 and New England Revolution 2. First lineup, first off for the hosts for TFC 2. A few tweaks from their last time out that we'll be able to break down for you. But this is a big opportunity for the side. Gianni Cimini looking to try and still find their first full match, a strong performance. It's going to be interesting to see what tweaks are made in terms of tactics after a big gap between their first and second games between March 17th and April 7th. But now 3 games, 3 weeks, beginning to find a groove, TFC2 are, and they make 3 changes from their last game against FC Cincinnati 2. That one being a 2-1 victory. 2 new additions announced this week, just yesterday in the midfield. Charlie Stanneland will be coming in from the Sheffield United Academy. He's part of that midfield too, alongside Marcus Simmermancic, Jesus Batiz in his left wing back role. Up front, a few tweaks. Dequan Barrow listed as the center forward for the side as they line up in their typical 3-4-3 under Gianni Cimini. A big opportunity for them, just making 3 changes from last time out. Felt it was a strong performance, but still, yet again, as I mentioned, looking for that first complete performance of 2024. On the flip side, for New England Revolution 2, coming off a heavy 6-2 defeat, Richie Williams felt the performance was stronger than the scoreline suggested, but he makes 7 changes to the lineup, including the first start professionally in goal for J.D. Gunn. Will have his work cut out for him against a strong TFC2 attack. Similarities, though, in the back line in front of him in Santiago Suarez-Thiago alongside Victor Souza in that center back pairing. Up front, after getting his first professional goal last time out, Gavork Diarbian gets another start in the left wing role. And we're underway here. Heading from right to left, our New England Revolution 2. From left to right will be Toronto FC 2. Nathaniel Edwards takes over. He's brought down from behind. First whistle of the match from our head referee, Robert D'Alicio. Jack Edwards with you here in the broadcast booth. Excited to present this one again in the red kits. TFC 2, New England Revolution 2. These sides meeting 3 times last year. The last 2 meetings both going to penalties. Both of those being won on the shootout phase by New England Revolution 2. In the first match of last year, it was won 3-2 on the road for New England Revolution 2. So a big chance for them after being undefeated in 2023. It was a great year last year, finishing 2nd in the Eastern Conference. Some big changes for both teams in the offseason. Richie Williams, this is his 5th game at the helm now for New England Revolution 2 as his side takes the ball over. Diarbian pokes it forward. He's brought down, and it's an early whistle, an early foul called against Stanneland, and an early yellow card for the man making his debut now for TFC 2. Stanneland enters the referee's pocket a minute and a half into the game. And look at that challenge. Diarbian just getting his foot in ahead of Stanneland. He's been with the side for some time now, but his signing was announced yesterday alongside Hassan Ayari, both coming in from the Sheffield United Academy. Ayari's on the bench here today, has a chance to make his debut as well. Slid back now. Gunn. Maciel. Esron Barry's pass, a little underhit, taken over by TFC2. Was that a push by Edwards? Referee will consider it and will whistle for the foul. Free kick now close to the corner flag. An interesting free kick opportunity to come now after the foul by Edwards. Jesus Batiz, Julian Altobelli will walk away from it. It'll be Batiz over it. Goal and an assist so far this season. Few in the box to aim for Batiz. He curls it in, aiming for the back post. It finds an open head. Flag does go up, though. Looked like it may have been a potential issue in the box. Gunn made the save regardless. Second look at the ball into the box from Batiz. It was a good one to pick out the open man in the area. Dequan Barrow, his header, maybe a little poorer compared to the opportunity presented. Had his head in his hands afterwards, and now it's back with New England carrying through the middle. His pass intercepted. Italo plays it off to Batiz, and he'll give it back to the center back. Adisa Di Rosario making his third start of 2024 in between the sticks. His long ball forward is headed out of play by Edwards. Edwards tosses it in. Barrow nods it down. Free kick is whistled for. It'll be chance gone now for TFC2. 3 games played for Toronto, all of them ending in 2-1 results. We've gotten on the better end of one of those so far. Defeats on the road to Philadelphia and Columbus Crew before beating Cincinnati last time out. As for New England Revolution, they've played 4 times this year so far. Won their lone home game so far against Carolina Core, that one being 2-1 at the end of March. Last time out against New York, it was a 6-2 defeat, but the match at one point 3-2. When Diarbian scored his first goal in his first start, it made it 3-2 in the 67th minute, but then some clinical finishing from New York saw the game stretch further. Obviously, Richie Williams had things he wanted to work on. Speaking to him out of this match, felt that the performance obviously had flaws in a 6-2 defeat, but didn't feel like the scoreline raised as many red flags as it potentially could have. This one's whipped across. It's dropped in. Batiz carrying it forward, driving at the defense. Batiz onto the right foot. It's an important block. It's still alive. Being flicked on. It sits up in the box. It's a great finish. Julian Altobelli. They stay alive in the box, and Altobelli capitalizes and scores in the 6th minute. Great work. Batiz just flicking it on, and first time Altobelli places it home. Mark Fisher also involved in just keeping that ball in the mixer. What a start for the home side. Two matches in a row now at home that Toronto take a very early lead. Charlie Sharp scoring the 12th minute last time out to open the scoring. Here today, Julian Altobelli, his first of the season so far. Had 2 assists to this point, has his first to his own name. And we restart now with New England Revolution 2 looking for a response. Played defeat. Focused defending by Perlman. Was a foul from behind by Victor Souza. It's a free kick for the hosts, who hold the lead. Push from behind, called for against Marcus Sibermancic. We'll pull it back, do it from the ground rather than from the hands. But again, just a dream start for Toronto. And Baptiste driving in from the left wing back role, just keeping play alive, keeping it there. It's the importance of winning those second balls. Gunn put under some high pressure. It's blocked out of play. It'll be a goal kick. But great work from Barrow to just get there and make life uncomfortable for Gunn. Making his first start since coming out of college. Spent 2023 with Memphis, making 9 starts as a grad transfer. That's his first opportunity between the sticks. Ball forward, it's flicked on. To central from Diaz. And it can roll all the way back. Tidy footwork. Barrow lays it off. Intercepted by Maciel. His pass also taken away. Now it's Toronto on the attack. Edwards, the target of the pass. He's moved out wide. In support, Fisher. He drags it back again. Staniland turns past. Italo. This one's clipped forward. Knotted down. Barrow trying to just get a foot in. It's set up kindly. The shot by Fisher is blocked. Italo takes things over. His pass, though, only finds Diarbian. He'll slide it back. Again, the long ball tried. It's not gone for by Di Rosario. Quick conversation between him and Perlman. Now it's a throw, taken quickly. Have a bit of space and a few numbers forward for the first time in this match for New England Revolution. They'll play it back. Leo plays it off. Souza. Thiago. Maciel moves it out. Good play through the lines. It's laid off by Diaz. Out wide, far side. A spell of possession here from Revs 2. Probing ball forward. DRB on the target. Flag goes up. He was offsides. You can see them trying to move the ball from side to side quickly. Interesting talking to Richie Williams ahead of this game for New England Revolution 2. Big focus for them was they've had some strong starts to matches that they haven't been able to quite follow up on. This match posing an interesting test. Toronto striking first, and now it's a question of the next phase of the game where they have struggled at times. Always a myriad of factors that could contribute to such a thing as it's turned over. Diarbian, a chance. Moving it into the box. Too many in the end defensively. Stanlin gets a foot in to clear it up the field. Fantastic turn by Barry. And he can try and use his speed. Plays it to feet. Diaz lays it off. Diarbian. Good covering from Perlman. Gets across, earns his side at the goal kick. Just saying, for New England Revolution 2, they've taken some leads in their matches recently. Last time out, Jack Panayoto scoring the first goal in the 8th minute, quickly pegged back by Jonathan Jimenez in the 11th and 16th minute to trail 2-1. Trailed 3-1 entering the half after a third goal for NYCFC 2. This time around, though, going down first. See how the side responds. It's flicked on. Bit of strength shown. And it's going to be a corner kick in the end. No foul given. And Souza wanted it to be awarded to his side for a goal kick, but the referee saw it differently. Chance now for the first corner of the match for either side. Jesus Batiz, his flick on, assisted the first goal of our match here today. The outswinging corner is stood up into the box, and it's well claimed. Almost bobbled at the end after Gunn hit the ground hard, but he kept control. Second look, his Gunn just goes highest to claim this one. Souza almost cut him out after trying to challenge for the header. No threat came from it in the end. Long ball forward, over the top. Trying to drop it in. Batiz sealed off the angle, saw it out, throw in. Again, mentioned Batiz getting the assist for the first goal of our match today. Led the side in goals last year with 8 of them. Important piece to come back. Overlapping Julian Altobelli on that left wing is a fantastic threat that Toronto have. Batiz on the throw, puts it in, Altobelli. Both sides fighting for it on the left wing. Just about goes out of play, and it'll be a throw-in. Well, the Revs 2 open up play at Willett Stadium on the campus of Southern New Hampshire University on April 28th when they host Inter Miami 2. Will Miami spoil the party? Find out starting at 3 p.m. Eastern only on MLS Season Pass. That one coming up Sunday, April 28th. Played through. Barrow taking off his foot. Just through 17 minutes here. It's been nice counter pressing from Toronto. Once they lose the ball, trying to make life uncomfortable for New England. Paid off in the goal already. Try and bypass the press with the long ball forward. It's headed upfield by Stoja Danovic. Leal moves it off. Maciel plays it up. Leal making the run. His pass on a different wavelength with his teammate. Good, powerful dribbling by Stojanovic. Now it's Batiz. After they spread it out wide to the left. He's got a few runners. His pass just behind Barrow. But you saw what he was trying to do. Pick a pass between the lines to his center forward. Panayiotou drops in a fantastic ball over the top. Diaz trying to get there. Off his line, importantly, from Di Rosario. Cleaned things up. Made sure that no shot was on hand. For Marcos Diaz, coming off a year with 8 goals in the regular season. Second on the team in goals last year. Led the team in goals back in 2022. He's got 1 goal, 2 assists to his name through 4 Next Pro matches in 2024. Maciel has it taken off his foot. Now a chance to break forward. Zimmerman-Cheech, a few who was left to his right. He'll strike it himself. Goes just over the bar. A good chance. Marcus Zimmerman-Cheech seas parted for him. He couldn't quite test J.D. Gunn's goal, but it was a solid effort to try to double his side's lead. Can't fault him for finding himself into that spot, for having to go himself. Put out a play. And the press, mentioned it a few times already, but Toronto coming out strong in this match. Foul, middle of the park. Goes the way of New England Revolution 2. These sides have met 10 times all time, more than your typical Next Pro sides. That's because they played against one another in the USL League One in 2021 in particular. New England Revolution in League One from 2020 to 2021. This one's going to break potentially, but the foul will be pulled back for. Flip side for Toronto, they have a more extensive history going all the way back to 2015. They're part of the USL 2015 to 2018, moved to League One 2019 to 2021, and then of course when Next Pro came about in 2022, joined this division. Looking to get their first win against New England since July 31st, 2022. It was a 2-0 win on the road, but even longer since they've won at home against New England. Gunn plays it, Leal. Saw Perlman just kind of go make a quick screen on Diaz to make life easier for Di Rosario. His long ball forward. Now at the back line for New England. Souza. Klein, or rather Leal, has it taken off his foot. Itzelo steps up from center back. Fisher. It's blocked. Opportunity for a quick ball forward. Diarbian takes a bit of an awkward bounce, but he brings it into his stride. Barry. Panayiotou, one of 2 first-team players as part of the New England Revolution 2 starting lineup. It's clipped forward. Flag does go up. The opportunity goes away. Alex Monis, first time saying his name on the broadcast. Made a good run between the lines. Just a hair too soon, according to the assistant referee on the far side of the field. 9 academy players for New England Revolution 2 in the starting lineup and bench. I should say 9 academy players and graduates as well. There's clarification there, but products of the academy of major importance to the lineup here today. Clipped into the box. It's a dangerous ball. Di Rosario couldn't get there. Turning out of the box was Monis. Di Rosario doing enough to put him off from delivering into the area. This one stood up into the box. Diaz flicks it on. It's tame, and it's picked up by Di Rosario. Maciel trying to give it back to Monis. It will come off. Baptiste tracking back defensively will win the ball and a free kick for his side. The 3-4-3 of TFC 2 up against the 4-3-3 for New England Revolution 2 brings interesting matchups. Sometimes it's wing back on winger, sometimes it's wing back on wing back, depending on where exactly Nathaniel Edwards and Jesus Baptiste end up lining up. Dangerous ball, but a fantastic one from Stanley to put it around the corner and break through the press. Massive challenge from behind, and it will be a foul, as well as a card coming out for Hestron Berry. Much to his frustrations, becomes the second player booked today, joining Charlie Stanley in the book. We can see it again. This one just fired forward and certainly looks like it gets a lot of Fisher. Looked to have been fouled. He pointed to the ball, Barry did, saying he got enough of it, but clearly viewed differently by Robert D'Alicio. Here's Edwards. His pass intercepted by Diarbian. You saw Edwards making the overlapping run, but good enough defensive work done to limit the ball out wide. Committing a foul, though, in the process was Thiago. Results in a free kick, potentially one for Toronto to put into the box if they wish. Doesn't seem like they'll put the numbers forward to try and make that happen, and they'll go short backwards. Stenneland. Good ball by Edwards. Picks out Fisher. Edwards kept the press going, but staunch defensive work done. Now Barry. Recently booked, so we'll have to be careful for the next hour plus, or however long he'll play in this match, to avoid getting himself sent off. Barry trying to dig that pass out, flicked on by Stanley, but it lands at the feet of Maciel. On the underlap, Paniotto fighting for it. Knocked off his foot, goes out of play. Barry going for the long switch of play. That one just over the head of Eric Klein. Trying to find his opposite fullback. Ends up conceding the throw in. Hestron Berry, his first season professionally. Spent the last 2 years with the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. He was a two-time Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year. His side making a national tournament appearance in the NCAA tournament. Began his college career at Barton Community College, California State. That one last touching Baptiste. He didn't think it did, but it's ruled a throw-in, heading the way of New England. Klein throwing it in, the opposite fullback, 17 years of age, making his first start professionally. Signed an amateur agreement back in March, joining the academy in 2023. Made one sub appearance last year, making his third appearance this season. Opportunity now. Let's play back. No DeMario McIntosh, not making the trip. Started all 4 games at right back. The young 16-year-old. Unavailable for the trip, and so in steps Eric Klein. Pass blocked by Edwards. Was it a tug? Was indeed. And it was interesting talking to Reggie Williams ahead of this one, just with the travel and just the impact it can have on younger players. Just a learning process for both him and his side about what these players are dealing with and getting used to these situations. Obviously in Toronto here today. They were at New York back on the 14th, in Cincinnati on the 10th. Part of just the travel challenges that can exist. This is fought for and won in the end. Fantastic challenge by Souza on Julian Altobelli. Throwing is given, but Souza making sure the goal scorer in today's match does not have an easy go at things. Tapped down. Maciel took it off Barrow. Tugged from behind by Barrow, and it's a free kick given in the end. Batiz wins the ball. Altobelli. Souza, challenge was clean. The center back can bring it forward a little bit as well. Leal moves it out. He'll get it back. Patrick Leal. Moves quickly. Panayiotou. Moves it out wide. Flag stays down. Batiz wanted it up. Klein. Souza fires this one forward. It's headed away. Dangerous ball between the lines, and off the line was Di Rosario. Gavork Diarbian putting a thumb up. He liked the idea on the pass, but just too central slightly. And Adisa Di Rosario off his line. Good goalkeeping. Italo puts it out of play, concedes the throw. Thrown back in quickly. Panayiotou turns, dribbles, past 2, but it's taken off his foot. Barrow, was he hacked down? He was. It will be a free kick after just a missed time challenge by Jack Panayiotou. First place, Ventura County look to continue their red-hot start to 2024 tomorrow when they welcome third place SKC2 to Dignity Health Sports Park Track and Field Stadium. We'll have all the action for you on MLS Season Pass starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Long ball forward, nodded down. Played back for Altobelli. Italo. Under a bit of pressure, he turns it over, and a chance now with some numbers moving forward in white. It's a 4-on-3. Diarbian, the free player. It does find him at the back post. He's forced back defensively. Just about enough done by Toronto. Barry. Maciel plays it. Diaz trying to turn through. Edwards joins the defensive pursuits, and it's a corner kick given. Certainly looked like it touched Adam Perlman last. He let it run out for what he thought should have been a goal kick, but it's given as a corner. First time now for New England to try a set piece themselves. And it'll be Patrick Leal, the player to take. 2 assists last year, looking for his first of the new campaign. He's going to go short, top of the box. Maciel, he'll have a go, but it's too strong, goes over the top of the goal. This one will be a goal kick for Adisa Di Rosario. Again, just to recap where we're at. Some good press in the 6th minute from Toronto after they lost the ball. Led to a few headers in the box. Jesus Batiz flicking on a header. Landed at the feet of Julian Altobelli. He fired it home and made things 1-0 early on, and that's where we still stand. Just past the half-hour mark. Good defensive work done by Hesron Berry. Tough challenge for him up against Nathaniel Edwards a lot of the time. Played 2023 with Syracuse, making 21 starts, a goal and 4 assists after transferring from Purdue Fort Wayne. He's come back in now to the professional setup. Big opportunity for him. Long ball forward, Italo. Calm on the ball, looked almost a little casual as it was falling over his head, but he was composed, dealt with the threat. Great turn by Altobelli. Past one, they can roll it off. Stoja Dinovic slides it out wide. Edwards keeps it in play, kicks it off, runs inside the corner kick. That matchup I mentioned just a moment ago between Edwards and Barry, again coming to the forefront. Batiz already 1 assist on the day with the corner kick into the box. The delivery was dangerous. It's kept in play by Italo. It's knocked away. It almost seemed like the chance was gone, but Italo kept it in play. Now some headers in the middle of the park, and it's won back by Toronto, and they can keep the chance going. No one quite there. It was a ton of bodies at the near post. It went all the way to the back post in the end for Italo when he kept it in play. No one was quite there to challenge. In the end, cleared away by a thankful New England defense. Barrow, Edwards making a run. May have been slightly offsides. He's forced it back. Fisher, dribbling, dancing. Touch just too heavy. Goes out for the goal kick. This match, 3rd one consecutive on the road for New England Revolution. That's turned over. Foul committed by Leal in the middle of the park. Something to look forward to for them. 4 of the next 5 will be at home. They would love to get some points, though, on this road stand. Currently, all their points coming in their 1 match at home. On track for their 4th road game of the season, I should say, and 4th road defeat. Offsides flag goes up. It's a free kick for Revs 2. Maciel wanted it, gives it back to Souza. Panayioto under some pressure, played it back. Thiago. DRBN. Pass there, turned over, and Barry has to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. That one didn't look to be another yellow card offense, but it begins the tally for where you wonder how many fouls can you get away with on a yellow card before a second yellow card is seen. So something to watch out for on the left-hand side of the defense for New England. The immediate ramifications is a free kick and a chance to potentially put one into the box for Toronto. Some words between look to be Gianni Cimini and Julian Altobelli. Altobelli, dangerous curler into the box. The header is just over the goal from Mark Fisher. It was a good run. It was a good ball to find it, but it's always tough to crane your head to nod that towards goal. In the end, got under it, put it over the frame. We can see another look at this one. Jumps on sides, and he's picked out with a great ball between the defenders. Just threading it between Klein and Leal. Another shot for Toronto. They can't find an insurance goal. Marcus Zimmerman-Cheech followed up on an early goal from Charlie Sharp in the 42nd minute. Zimmerman-Cheech scored to make it 2-0 before halftime. They saw that one out against Cincinnati. That's a tug of the shirt. That will be a yellow card as well for Edwards. Diaz wanted to take it quickly, and you can see him expressing the frustration. Richie Edwards trying to say, don't get yourself booked with any frustrations there, but of course the referee has to stop play, so he can book Edwards. He becomes the second Toronto player in the book. Charlie Stanilend on his debut, and Edwards making his 4th appearance of 2024 is also booked. Back underway, nearing the final 5 minutes of our first half. Best chance of the game was put away by Julian Altobelli. A few half chances for both teams between that moment and now. Diarbian, great turn. Trying to slide it off, but just couldn't quite. Important challenge. A lot forward in red. Altobelli, he'll have one go himself, and it's just wide of frame, trying to find number 2. But you can see with his hands up, Dequan Barrow saying, what about me? Could have been a chance to slide it off. And a quick restart now. Trying to play between the lines. And again, confirmation of that yellow from Edwards. Played upfield. Altobelli showing some strength in the box. Dragged it across goal. Trying to find Zimmerman-Cheech. He couldn't quite get it to him. Mentioned Zimmerman-Cheech, a goal last time out around this time. The target of that pass from Altobelli. Long ball forward was brought in by Monis, but touch just too heavy. Stanilend, good challenge, also considering he's on the yellow card. Diarbian drives into the box. Important covering defending done by Perlman. Came across to deal with it. He carries it to the touchline and plays one over the top. Thiago running towards his own goal. Under the press of Barrow, plays it to Gunn, and he can roll it back up to Souza. Pass under hit, intercepted by Toronto. Fisher, 4 ahead of him in the attack. He picks out friendly face. The shot on target, but Altobelli is saved by Gunn, who immediately launches this one back into play. You've seen him try and just quickly restart things quickly. Diarbian trying to show off his speed. No foul given for the challenge on Edwards, so it comes out. Corner kick in the end. Marcos Diaz, the player who put a foot in for the challenge and pulled it out in time before Edwards could come into contact with him. So Edwards went down into the challenge, but it is another corner. Final few minutes of our first half. This would be a great time for New England to find a route back into the game and bring us back to level pegging. Got the whistle. We've got the corner. They go short. Back to Leal. Curls it into the box. That one just behind the head of Diaz. Maciel gets ahead to it as well. You can just see how quickly the numbers get forward in the press for Toronto. And Altobelli will go all the way back to Gunn. Plays it, picks out Maciel. Over the top. Knotted down, knocked upfield by Perlman. Diaz trying to dribble into the box. Maciel, the first time effort. Always a challenge. Take that one on the left foot as it quickly came to him. Gets his shot wrong and curls it wide, a goal. 45th minute here, nearing the end of our first 45. Similarly matched for both teams, but the one big chance falling for the hosts, and they were clinical with it. It's an important element for them this year. For Cimini and company to put them home in front of goal. Looking like we'll have 1 minute of extra time at the end of our first 45. As for New England, they've had some decent possession, some decent touches in and around the opposing 18, but nothing major to write home about, so some changes might be looking for during halftime. Turn up field. Just fighting for that was Diarbian, but he couldn't quite earn his side possession or the throw. Taken quickly for Barrow. That is a foul against Thiago. Put back into play. Less than 30 seconds of the minimum remaining in our first half, but more could be added on based on that brief stoppage during our extra time. Maciel brings it down, plays a fantastic ball forward. New England on the attack. It's a cross goal. Diaz, there's no goalkeeper, trying to find the back of the net, and he does on the doorstep of halftime. Marcos Diaz capitalizes. Goal number 2 on the year for him, and what a moment to pick it out. 1-1. We'll see it again. Great ball over the top, aiming for Monis. Gets past Di Rosario. Great first-time touch by both Monis and Diaz. The pass from Monis, the first touch from Diaz away from the defender, and that, you can't understate how good a finish that is from Diaz with maybe the last touch of our first half. Maybe the second or third to last touch, but how about that? They find their equalizer, and that completely changes the halftime team talks for both teams. Our score at the half, it's Toronto FC 2 with 1, and New England Revolution 2 with 1 goal as well. A fantastic first 45 minutes. We've got a packed halftime report coming up for you after a short break.
sacúdete. Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete. Muévelo como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon la mano en la cabeza, sacúdete. Sacúdete, sacúdete. Sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Kicking off match week 6 here today. Well, looking back at last week, 3 hat tricks, including 1 in just 8 minutes of action. Headline our look back at match week 5. Michelle Montaigne brings us the MLS Next Pro report.
It's going to be a chance for Carrizo! Euler! It's Tucker, and he has his first goal!
Last week we told you good things were coming in threes. Well, episode 3 of the report has us circling back to that idea. This week we're coming to you from the New York Red Bulls training facility following a historic and record-breaking match week 5. For the first time in MLS Next Pro history, there were 3 hat-trick performances in the same match week. Chattanooga FC's Jalen James notched the first of the weekend, becoming just the 5th MLS Next Pro player to net 3 in the first half of play. Afterward, he explained the feeling of his history-making hat trick.
Rod took a chance on me, and I'm thankful for it. And I'm glad that I could help my team win by scoring the 3 goals.
While James had the first of the match day, Osorio had the fastest. And not just of this season, Harold Osorio scored the fastest hat trick in MLS Next Pro history, recording all 3 goals in the span of 8 minutes. He scored 2 in a row in stoppage time in the first half versus Red Bulls 2, then followed that up with his 3rd in the 50th minute of play. So to put it plainly, his 8 goals in 3 minutes is the equivalent to him scoring a goal every 2.5-ish minutes. Which is insane. For a little more context on that, some other things that take 8 minutes, well, if you're the average fit person, you could run a mile. If you're Joey Chestnut, you could eat 54 hot dogs. If you're the average domestic human, like me, you could maybe hard boil an egg. And if you're the speed of light, you could get from here on Earth to the sun, but you'd still be 19 seconds short in 8 minutes. So, safe to say, a very impressive performance by Osorio, but he was not to be outdone by a guy on the very same pitch, just on the opposite team. Roald Mitchell one-upped Osorio, scoring 4 goals in the match and notching all of them also in just the first half. Let's take a look at the player of the match day's performance now by the numbers. He became just the 4th player in MLS Next Pro history to record a 4-goal game. That brings his total number of goals scored this season to 8, becoming the fastest player to 8 goals to start a season in MLS Next Pro. That also means he's scoring an average number of 1 goal for every 45 minutes. But his performance so far on the season, according to head coach Ibrahim Sagaya, comes as no surprise to him.
No, Mitchell, each game is getting better. I think this is a player which had a lot of qualities. He hasn't been there, but you can see it. Each game is getting better. It's bad now he gets injured, but this is a player which has a lot of future.
Apparently also deserving of that type of feat are the 4 other players who have scored 4 goals in a single match. SKC2's Raouf Salifu was the first to ever do it in the league. NYC2's John Dennis achieved the milestone just 1 week later. And former MLS Next Pro MVP and Cup champion Jason Russell-Rowe notched 4 against in-state rival FC Cincinnati 2. Mitchell became the first to do it since September of 2022. And while those were impressive individual performances, this match week saw some historic team outputs as well. Jalen James scored 3 of Chattanooga's 6 over Inter Miami 2. Jonathan Jimenez scored a brace for NYCFC 2, who also put up 6 total over Revs 2. We mentioned the 2 stars of Red Bulls 2 and Fire 2, who helped each of their teams to 5 goals apiece in regulation. And rounding out the offensive firepower was Union 2, putting up 5 while allowing none in their match against Atlanta United 2. Now those types of performances certainly made some waves when it comes to the latest power rankings, and there were some big shakeups towards the top, so be sure to check out the full list on our website of power rankings at MLSnextPro.com. So as you saw this week, these cleats were made for scoring. The report had you covered on all of those goals and all of the action across all of our MLS Next Pro outlets. That does it for this week. We'll see you next time from America's Heartland.
Currently at the half, it's Toronto 1, New England Revolution 1. Our first half highlights and the stats are next. But first, we'll step aside for a quick break.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. I like this. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Halftime between these two sides, we can look at the highlights from our first 45 between Toronto and New England Revolution 2. The first goal of the match coming in the 6th minute. Great flick on here by Batiste. Fantastic finish by Julian Altobelli for his first goal of 2024. This in the right place at the right time, and the forward capitalized to put it in the bottom right-hand corner. It was a great early goal for back-to-back games now at home for Toronto. Scored in the 12th minute last time, 6th minute here today. Great claim on his professional debut for J.D. Gunn. Could have been detracted by the early goal he conceded, but he was strong for the rest of the first 45. Good delivery here into the box by Altobelli. Picks out an open man in Mark Fisher, going just over the bar. But it was a ton of opportunities. As you're seeing on your screen right now, Altobelli again involved, puts it just wide. Again moved out wide. Again, it's Altobelli trying to find Zimmerman Cheech. This time only finds the hands of J.D. Gunn. Again, just all on the attack. A shot by Altobelli right on frame, right on the doorstep of halftime. 46th minute, played across goal by Muniz. It's chipped up beautifully and put home by Marcos Diaz, and completely against the run of play. Toronto dominates the first half, but it's level entering halftime between these two sides. We look at our first half highlights, or first half stats, I should say. After our highlights, you can see the shots heavily in favor of Toronto, 8-3, but in the end, only one in the back of the net for both sides. On yellows are Charlie Stanley and Nathaniel Edwards for Toronto. On the flip side, Hesron Berry is booked for New England Revolution 2, so some storylines to watch for there. We'll see what tweaks are made by both sides, both tactically as well as personnel-wise. But for New England, that last goal, a massive confidence boost and completely flips the script entering our second 45 minutes. These two sides probably a little outmatched Toronto in that first half, but in the end, New England doing just about enough to head into halftime level 1-1. We'll step aside for one last break before we come back for our second half.
Dale pues, mamá ya muerte. Más loco como solo tú sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza. Sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Moments away from the second half between Toronto and New England. We can look ahead as we kick off match week 6 here today. Trio of games tomorrow, including a big one between Ventura County and Sporting KC, both of the sides near the top of the Eastern Conference, stretching all the way to 11 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. Tacoma taking on Whitecaps, rounds us out with Monday, a Chicago Fire 2 and Carolina Core matchup bumped, which would have been today originally, moved to Monday after their Open Cup commitments this past week. But it's going to be an exciting upcoming next several days across the MLS Next Pro. Some big chances for teams to get some points, including these two sides here today, Toronto and New England, both of them with just 3 points entering into today. They were 11th and 13th in the East, and currently at the break 1-1. Big chance for both teams to try and push themselves up the standings as we begin to progress further and further into the meat of the 2024 season. It's been a good one so far, interesting all across the front. On the east side of things, of course, Ventura County, which is a fantastic start to 2024. Going to be a tough test for them at home. We'll see what ends up panning out all across things. New York Red Bulls 2 had a big weekend last time out, a 5-5 draw with Chicago Fire 2. 4 goals being scored by Rold Mitchell, as you saw during our halftime content. They sit top of the East, trying to see what will happen between Ventura County and Sporting KC in the top of the West. Well, we can go back now to our second 45 between these two teams. Players beginning to retake the field. You can't overstate the importance of that goal. Any goal, always important. They change games. But Marcos Diaz's goal might be the most typified changing of game goal that you could possibly have. You're just about 20 seconds away from halftime. It's a fantastic ball played in, aiming for Alex Monis. He's got to make a quick decision. Adisa Di Rosario is running off his line. Instead of trying to round him, maybe lose possession, to shoot it first time, plays it across goal to Marcos Diaz. He brings it into his control, really well done, and then finds the back of the net, and it was a fantastic goal scored in a half where, as you saw in the stats, they were kind of outmatched at times. New England Revolution 2 were, but Scoreline doesn't lie. Currently, it is 1-1, all to play for in their second half. Roberto D'Aliso whistles us to get back underway in the white kits. New England, they're heading from left to right across your screen. And the Reds for Toronto, they're heading from right to left. Jack Edwards with you here. An absolute pleasure to share this one. No subs to report for you at halftime. We'll see what continues to progress. Julian Altobelli, you saw in those highlights, heavily involved. They're coming together, and the foul goes against Simmerman-Cheech and Toronto. Goals from Altobelli and Diaz have us to this current 1-1 scoreline. Holding trend with the last two meetings in 2023 between these sides. It was a 0-0 draw when they met last time out back on August 18th. New England Revolution winning 4-1 on penalties. Previously they met back in June, on June 23rd of 2023. That was a 1-1 draw. That one finishing in a 4-2 win on penalties for New England Revolution 2. Put out a play, no nonsense defending by Klein. Jesus Baptiste tosses it in. Bouncing between some players. I mentioned at halftime, just want to mention just the craziness for Rold Mitchell, scoring 4 goals last time out. He leads all goal scorers across all players with 8 goals already. So anybody trying to get into a golden boot race, Marcos Diaz with 2 goals now, 4 goal contributions through 5 games for New England Revolution 2. A tough task, an early tone set by Rold Mitchell. Remains to be seen. He went off injured in that match against Chicago. How severe that injury turns out to be. Knocked out of play by Klein. Another throw-in given. And for Toronto, it's kind of in keeping with what Gianni Cimini was talking about when we got the chance to speak ahead of this match. Just looking for their first complete performance of the year. Had some good halves, and the first half, by all accounts, was a very strong first 45 minutes of performance. But the key moment came past 45 in that stoppage time. They were able to find the equalizers. The flag goes up against Daquan Barrow. Surely a frustrating goal to concede. You have a free kick, turn possession over, one ball over the top. Adisa Di Rosario took a risk trying to go and claim. Turns out to be a brilliant piece of goalkeeping if he gets there. It turns out to be a really tough one if he doesn't. It was the second situation that occurred. Moved on along. That was a tough pass back to Gunn to try and receive, and it was a bad touch in the end, and comes out slightly unforced error on the corner, but down, feeling a bit of uncomfort is Hesron Berry, just feeling his right leg after that pass back. He will need to get some treatment here. Now, as he will need to get some treatment, Barry. He will have to come off for 2 minutes after this. This is an important new introduction to Major League Soccer after testing out both time substitution rules as well as treatment, on-field treatment rules, trying to speed up games, reduce play acting, if you will. This is certainly not the situation for Barry. He needs some actual treatment. He will have to come off. Those rules now being implemented this weekend in Major League Soccer, just proving again what Next Pro can provide is just a platform to try new things, especially rules that can try and help expedite, make the game cleaner, better for all. But you can see Hesron Berry is certainly in some discomfort. See if he can continue, but he has to come off for a little bit here, and his side will have to do without him. He'll be a bit outmanned on this upcoming corner kick. Batiz. Curls the corner into the box. Powerful header out by Souza. Shape will be slightly altered for New England while they're currently down a player. Look for about the 51-minute mark when Barry can potentially come back into the game. That is if he's ready to continue. Of course, there's always the possibility that he does need to come out. He had some discomfort in both his leg and his arm. As they move it to Simmermancic. Ball up the field is intercepted, knocked forward. That was a push from behind. Marko Stojanovic, excuse me, was the player committing the foul at the halfway line. Heading into this one, New England making 7 changes from their last time out. 3 changes for Toronto, so there are some difference makers on the bench for both teams. Debutants for both sides. We mentioned it for Gunn in between the sticks. As he said, he recovered very well from conceding that early shot from Altobelli. Not what you could have done. It was a great find to get him in the box and a very well taken finish by the forward. On the flip side, coming in very recently, Charlie Stanneland. He was announced just yesterday. With the side longer than that, but he immediately comes in to make a big impact in the middle of the park. He's on a yellow right now, so we'll see, both with fitness and the yellow card issues in the midfield, how much longer his debut will continue. Slight tug, referee playing advantage. Batiz taken off of him in the end. Advantage had been gone by that point. Monas back. Curled forward. Klein putting this one up. Back heel by Diaz. It's dangerous. Oh, the turn just couldn't quite come off there for Panayoto. Toronto survived that defensively. Edwards trying to show off his speed. Shows off the weight of his pass. Bear the target. And you also can see back out on the field is Hesron Barry. Good ball. Another one over the top. Dangerous. Dropped in for Monas. He assisted the first. He dribbles this one. Trying to deal this one with Italo. Good challenge by the tall center back. His pass, though, for Altobelli was read well by Souza. He came across. Intercepted. Good ball. Panayoto. Picked out. Diarbian to the byline. Took a deflection. It's out now. Corner kick, first and second half for Revs 2. Curler into the 6-yard box. It's headed up, scraped down. Klein gets a foot to it. Maciel curls this one back out wide. Good run by Diarbian to get some space. He's in the top of the box. He's down holding his foot. It's a good challenge by Edwards. Had to get it right on the edge of the 18. Diarbian back to his feet. Panayoto His header forward, or his ball forward, I should say, is headed away. Batiz. Good dribbling. He's hacked down. Alex Monis brings him down. First year with New England for Alex Monis. Now a goal and an assist through 5 appearances, making his 3rd start of the young campaign. 11 goals, 2 assists across 40 appearances over 2 years with Chicago Fire 2. And actually, he scored his first MLS goal against the New England Revolution all the way back on October 7th, 2022. So interesting for him to score against a side he now plays for the MLS level. Dribbling forward is Diaz. 2 around him in red, and it's good, strong defending. Diaz gets a foot in. Perlman knocks it off Diaz. He's going to get a foot to it, trying to keep this in play. Perlman knocks it back upfield. That pass didn't have an immediate target, but Stanleyland stepping forward to do a good job. That will be a free kick going against Barrow, much to his frustration. Quick free kick will not be allowed to be taken. It'll be brought back to the original spot of the infringement. Robert D'Alicio had more he wanted to say after the foul by Barrow. Daquan Barrow has been quite frustrated with a couple calls to the match to this point. Unsure if it's a accumulation of fouls, don't do that again, or I may have to book you moment, or a explaining what he saw in the foul. But in the end, D'Alicio is satisfied, and he'll allow the free kick to be taken. Maciel back. Barry. It's a poor touch. Altobelli. Few in the attack. Driving forward. Altobelli trying to pick out Barrow. It's important from Souza. Gets a foot in to block Edwards. They want a handball, but it's not given. And now, New England on the attack. This match wide open all of a sudden. Diarbian trying to find Monis. It'll get there. Forwards connecting. Monis forced out by Perlman. Diarbian back to Alex Monis. He's going to clip this one into the area. Diaz chests it down, but it's played out. Altobelli knocked down by Sousa. And that will stop a frenetic sequence for both sides where both teams in the span of just a few seconds had counter-attacking opportunities, neither coming to a moment of major substance. Maciel, his pass intercepted. Batiz takes over, head full of steam. That's a big challenge put in by Lille. It'll come out, corner kick in the end. It's the benefit of Batiz playing in a wing-back role. He's good defensively, but also when he is able to win the ball back, he's an immediate threat on the counter-attack. Will be a Batiz over it. Altobelli is right next to him if he wishes to go short. He makes the option longer and goes to the top of the box. Batiz stands it up. It's headed just wide of goal. A great header challenged there. Looked to be Barrow who rose highest to try and put that one home, nearly finding the back of the net. Not much that Gunn could have done about that if it was on target. Gunn's pass there, wayward, puts an apologetic hand up after he couldn't pick out Eric Klein. Throw in for the hosts. Batiz, knocked down by Barrow. Nutmeg, Batiz. But actually, Barrow impacting play from an offside position. They're frustrated. It's an interesting interpretation of the law there. If Barrow's in an offside position, he didn't move for it, but he blocked off the defender a little bit when Batiz pulled off the nutmeg. Brought down. Maciel. Great first touch from Monis. Skips past Italo, again to the top of the box. This one whipped into the area, it's cleared out. Di Rosario, moment of hesitation. Still on the attack. New England trying to turn his Diaz. Sousa. Klein. Leal trying to find Monis. It's seen out for the goal kick. Toronto FC 2 head to the Sunshine State on April 28th for a matchup against Orlando City B. Coverage beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on MLSNextPro.com. Excited for that one coming up next weekend. As you can see, a pair of subs being readied. They will be coming in now to our match. Theo Rogopoulos and Lucas Olguin. Charlie Stanneland, as well as Nathaniel Edwards, the players who will be withdrawn. Stanneland coming off, making his debut today since coming in from the Sheffield United Academy. Another chance for a Sheffield United Academy signee debutant today, and Hassan Yari. He's on the bench. We'll see if he makes an appearance in today's match. Stanneland was booked just minutes into our game today and still managed to play through it. He'll be coming off on in his place. Lucas Olguin making his third appearance of the season so far. Theo Rogopoulos as well. A pair of teenagers coming on. Header keeps it in play. And a big factor for sure in the subs was just the yellow cards. The two players brought off in Stanneland and Edwards. The two players who haven't booked today for Toronto. Altobelli, the captain, whips this one out wide. Good control to keep it in play. Rogopoulos off the bench, plays it across goal, and that one kept in play by Gunn after Stojadinovic whipped it forward. Center back making a ranging run up the field. But it was an early influence from Rogopoulos. Dropped in for Diaz, lays it off. Klein, Monis the target of the pass, but that one's overhit, and Di Rosario can grab it uncontested. Joshua Bolma is ready to come into the game. Hearing it will be for Gavork Diarbian. We'll see if that one holds. On the attack now, driving up the field. It's moved out wide. The 1-2. Rogopoulos trying to create some space for a delivery. He rolls it back. Hands go up for offsides. Rigopoulos stands it into the box. It's flicked along. Batiz, and that's going to be a foul against Barrow after coming together in the box, and it chalks off what could have been a great chance for Batiz. And it will allow this sub to take place. DRBN making his second start since coming out of Providence. 12 goals, 17 assists in college. Had a goal last time out. Today had some moments, but a tough match for the forward. He'll come out. In his place will be Bolma. Bolma coming off of a 2023 where he had 2 goals and an assist across 17 appearances in MLS Next Pro. He was a 2-time All-Big Ten first team at Maryland. Had 6 goals, 12 assists across 38 appearances for the Terrapins. He's on now, like for like, in that left wing role. You can see him immediately getting involved in the press. Olguin helping trying to work through it, but it's taken over. The run being made up the left-hand side, just under hit. Great sliding challenge undergone by look to have been one of the center backs as it's played forward. Headed out of play. Thiago, the player to touch it last. Another sub can take place here, and it will be the debut now. Hassan Ayari coming on here in the 68th minute. Making way will be Altobelli, the goal scorer. Ayari alongside Stanlin coming in from Sheffield United Academy. Stanlin making his debut as a starter. Ayari off the bench. Coming out of the game, Altobelli, his goal canceled out by Diaz, but he opened our scoring back in the 6th minute. Maciel plays it to Lille. Was he pushed by Barrow? He was. Who has developed an impressive amount of fouls to not be booked. Just my 2 cents. A lot of them have been just small ones. Nothing, I think, of an individual foul that hasn't been a yellow card offense, but he's been very combative up front. A handful to deal with for New England. Across the defense. Souza. Maciel. Thiago. Maciel trying one up forward. Intercepted by Stojadinovic. Perlman. Play it back to Di Rosario, and he'll have no nonsense with his ball forward. He'll put it up. One to challenge for middle of the park. One by Souza. Brought down. Good first touch. Now back at the feet. Panayiotou trying the switch. Picks out Monis. His first touch a bit heavy. Can he get a shot off? He can. It's blocked by Italo. Now Batiz. Ayari picks out Batiz. Tidy footwork from the debutants. Rolled in now, Barrow. Not a ton with him in the attack. He'll hold it up, bring it back to Ayari. Good defensive work done by Lille. Stayed with the play. Played it forward. Monis. Strong defending by Italo. Ranging forward. Rigopoulos. Italo has stayed in the attack. Darts into the box, fired across goal. In the end, Klein, his touch took it out of play. It's now a corner kick. Pressure mounting for Toronto. Trying to retake the lead in this one. avoid heading to a shootout for a third straight time against New England. Batiz stands this one up. It's headed in by Italo. Caught by Gunn. Good first touch from Olguin. Press being put on. Shoulder challenge there. The end results in a free kick for Toronto. Just going through the back of Perlman. See two more subs being ready to come into the game now for New England. Those will be happening in a moment. Intercepted. Good win. Driving forward now. Simmermancic. He's got Batiz on the far side. He picks him out. 3 in the box in red. Slid in. Simmermancic trying to drag it across goal. Important for Souza to come over to defend. He does. Get the foot in and knocks it out. Batiz put it into the box, goes through everybody. Italo will try and chase it down to keep it in play. He'll do so successfully. Curled into the box, headed down, not away. That was a foul though. Will relieve the pressure. And now a chance for New England to make their substitutions. Olger Escobar, as well as Luka Borovic. Two players ready to come on. Patrick Leal, you can see his number being called to come off for Borovic. Also coming off will be Alex Monis, the assister of the Equalizer. Second and third subs being made by New England. 2 more subs that they can make, 1 more window in which to do so. Exact same story for Toronto. 3 subs made, 1 window left for those subs to happen. Some cards still to play for both coaches if they wish to. Currently set for a shootout. A point at least. 1 more for the winning side on the shootout. See the subs begin to tick in. Leal out. Borovic in. Flicked down. Diaz trying to create the space. He's forced out wide. Bolma. First time pass attempted there from Borovic. His first touch since entering the match goes out. Goal kick given. Top 2 teams in the East face off Sunday afternoon when league-leading goal scorer Rold Mitchell leads Red Bulls 2 into Subaru Park for a date with Union 2. Coverage on MLS Season Pass begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Rold Mitchell with 8 goals in the year so far. 4 of them in 1 match as it's 1 half the field. Oh, spoke too soon. Important intervention made by Borovic. They'll get on the ball now. You can see the numbers, though, going forward for Toronto. They smelled blood in the water, ready to counter, but importantly, Borovic getting that second touch in on the slide to make sure his side didn't lose possession. Here's Escobar. Bolma carrying it into the box. His pass intercepted. He gets a touch on the clearance forward. Concedes a throw in. Final 15 minutes of this match. That Diaz goal with pretty much the final touch of the first half, completely changing the complexion of our match. You wonder how different it would look if New England entered the second half with a deficit, trying to come back into the game. What if Toronto had a lead to hold on to? Instead, it's been a stalemate. We'll see if either side has a winner in them. Maciel. Throw in. Switch. Offside flag goes up. Klein making his run too soon. Knotted down. Ayari. Batiz, powerful dribbling into the box, stands it up, and it may have taken a flick on the way through. Rigopoulos will collect. Batiz trying to generate the equalizer. It's curled back into the box, headed out by Souza. Panayiotou has to be careful, plays it back. Barry drops in a fantastic ball for Bolma. There are a few numbers forward in the attack. It's a 3-on-3. Bolma trying to just slide that into Diaz, but an important block by Perlman. Back to Batiz. Fantastic ball in for Batiz. Great challenge put in. He's back to his feet quickly. Plays it off. Ayari. Some quick passing. Out wide now, Rigopoulos. He curls this one into the box. Bayano got a toe to it, but it was asking just too much of a stretch from the center forward. Long from Di Rosario. Too tall. Looking ahead for these sides for Toronto. After back-to-back home games, they're going to head on the road to Orlando City B. Come back home against Columbus week after that. As for New England, mentioned it a bit earlier, but they'll be very grateful to be heading back home after this. Three matches in a row on the road. next 4 of the 5 will be at home. Coming into the game in a moment, big moment. Alex Parvu making his professional debut. Coming off the bench. Eric Klein, the player who will be making way. You saw him just down and feeling a bit of potential cramp, maybe a bit of a muscle issue on the right-hand side of the defense. Eric Klein, the player coming out. Alex Parvu on for his professional debut. Scored a goal with the U19 so far this year. He was part of the 2022-23 MLS Next Cup U19 squad. He's got a chance now for the first time with New England Revolution 2. Play to the feet, Escobar as a runner on the overlap. Right off the bench, plays an interesting ball across the top of the box. It's knocked away. Parvu trying to immediately get involved in things. Just 18 years of age. Now Toronto, that pass though, a little errant from Fisher. Moved out wide, Bolma centrally. Curled ball in by Panayiotou. Will end up almost breaking for Diaz. Heart and mouth moment, but Perlman steps across to make the challenge. Panayiotou again. That one almost a horrible break for the hosts. Bolma. This one slid through. Panayiotou curls this one into the box, brought down. Bolma keeps it in for Diaz. It goes down in the box. It's waved away. Looked to be a bit soft. Robert D'Alicio certainly felt that way. Did not feel it was warranting of a penalty kick. That one from Bolma will result in a free kick. Some subs will be made here in a moment for Toronto. Diaz making the case again. Certainly felt like it would have been a harsh way for Toronto to be punished in this match. Anthony Churich, as well as Matthew Cadavolo, will be coming into the game. Jesus Batiz, as well as Dequan Barrow, will be making way. Both teams made all their substitutions. Case of New England, they've used all their sub windows. 4 off the bench for them. Toronto 5 off the bench. The final 4, rather 6 minutes plus stoppage time. These are the players who will decide this result. Talked about it a few times. 2023, New England went unbeaten against Toronto. 2 shootout wins after draws and a win as well. Marked 2023 in this head-to-head matchup. All time, they've met 10 times. 4 times New England has won. 3 times it's ended in a draw. 3 times it has ended in a Toronto victory. Curled ball forward, asking just too much. First touches by Anthony Churich, trying to play that one upfield for Ayari, but ends up curling out. Throw in, Maciel. Taken over. Simmermancic. Good ball between the lines. Italo got a toe to it, and in the end, Gunn can fall on it after the run was made by Theo Rigopoulos. Olguin wins it. Now Italo. Pass forward, trying to pick out Catavolo. Only finds Gunn. For New England on the road, not that they want to settle for a point and look for 2 in the shootout, but after 2 road defeats, including a heavy one to New York City FC 2 last time out, this would certainly be some points to walk away from this road stand with to build on as they head home for the next few weeks. So we'll see how both teams approach these final 4 minutes. Of course, it wouldn't oppose a winner. Nobody would turn down 3 points for 2. But here's Toronto, searching for a winner themselves. It's cleared off a defender by Catavolo, and it will be a corner kick to come. Curled into the box. Gunn gets a fist to it, not fully dealt with. It's brought down. Parvu, they'll push us upfield. New England will, just no nonsense defending as we pass 87 minutes into this game. Is there one last big chance for either team to write home about? Zimmermancic plays it. Olguin. Rigopoulos. Coming across to make the challenge there was Barry. Still on a yellow card. Our only player still on the field who has been booked today. Back to Gunn. He had to be on his toes to make sure that nobody in red was able to take control of things. What a ball over the top. Flag stays down. Escobar. With him in the attack. He's moving it in field. Plays it across. Maciel. From distance, there was always an ambitious effort. It was always rising from Barry. Would have needed to be something quite special to beat Di Rosario from there. Dropping between the lines. Ayari, some step overs. It's poked away, then slid away. Final minute of regulation. Clipped up. One to chase for Escobar. Italo also gets there, puts it out of play. 3 minutes of added time here to come in a moment. Goes out of play. Be a throw for Toronto as 3 minutes are confirmed at the end of our 90. return, taken over. Cadavolo puts it upfield. Rigopoulos putting the press on. Gunn. They'll just put this upfield. Di Rosario doesn't catch that quite as sweetly as he would have liked. They'll want to avoid a repeat of the final moments of the first half. New England just broke forward quickly and benefited from, don't want to call it a mistake from Di Rosario, but didn't get the ball when he came off his line to get it. Benefited from that for sure, as Boma shows off his strength. Back. Pass there is intercepted. And a pretty cynical challenge, taken quickly. The chance now, Toronto. On the break, out wide, Olguin. There's a few numbers forward, but they're forced back. Quickly gotten back, New England did defensively. Free kick given, New England. Less than a minute of the minimum remaining. Maciel. Borovic. Lofted forward. This one into the box. It's headed away. Important intervention. That will do it. We're headed to penalties. 1 point apiece. We'll see in the shootout who can claim one extra and head home with 2 points from the match. Before we get to the shootout, we'll take one quick break. Get you set for our shootout.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. It's not like this. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
At the end of regulation, since the teams are tied on the scoreboard, the match will extend to a shootout, with each team having 5 attempts. If the teams are tied after 5 attempts, they will go to sudden death. The shootout winner will receive an extra point in the regular season standings.
We can see how we got here in this match. Sides finished the full 90, tied 1-1. Flick on here from Jesus Batiz, put home brilliantly by Julian Altobelli. That one in the 6th minute opened the scoring. Toronto, a lot of chances in that first half. Weren't able to make any of them beyond that finish from Altobelli. Pay right on the doorstep of halftime. Played across here by Monis. Picks out his teammate Diaz, and he picks out the back of the net with a fantastic finish. A lot of skill involved in that one to lift it over 2 defenders. In the end, finds the back of the net right before halftime. It stayed 1-1 all throughout the rest of the match, and we head now into penalties to see who can head home with an extra point in the standings. Important point for both teams. Up to this point in the year, both had claimed just 3 points from 1 victory. And now at the very least, they'll be pushing up to their 4th point. In the case of New England, they're heading home from this road trip with at least 1 point in the bag. And for Toronto, they stay unbeaten in regulation at home. But this makes it now 3 consecutive matches between these two sides, going back all the way to June of 2023, that has gone to a shootout. The last 2 have both been won by New England, but a lot of changes in the offseason for both teams, and that means that you can't draw too many parallels to what will happen in our shootout here today. It is the debut for J.D. Gunn in goal for New England Revolution 2, so a chance to be a hero on his first start since coming out of college. He stands at 6'5" between the sticks. Adisa Di Rosario, a chance maybe, if he views it like this, bit of redemption, trying to decide the extra point. He didn't win the ball when Alex Monis was in over the top, and it led to the chance for Diaz. It's going to be Toronto to take first. You saw the rules for this shootout. Toronto take first, and a chance for them to try and set the tempo, set the mood ahead of this one. First penalty put over the bar. Anthony Churic gets under it. And he misses the first penalty taken by either side. Second look at this one. Just doesn't get it right. He's aiming for that top left corner. When you get it right, you're a hero. But when you get it wrong, it's a challenging start. Di Rosario may try a bit of mind games, so roll the ball off to the side and force our goal scorer, Marcos Diaz, to move a little bit to get it. Diaz was second on the team in goals in 2023, led them in goals in 22. He takes the first penalty in the shootout after scoring in the match today. Marcos Diaz from the spot. It's a brilliant penalty. They hold an advantage now. They've made the first one. Just a brilliantly taken penalty. So Churic misses. Diaz scores. Catavolo want to score this one to avoid putting his side in a really deep hole to dig themselves out from at the beginning of the shootout. Matthew Catavolo dispatches it, puts it in the bottom left corner. They've got one of 2 penalty makes now. New England still hold the slight edge. Toronto will need a stop to get themselves back to level pegging. It's part of the slight benefit of going first, as you put the pressure on the second team that takes. Mathematically, historically, 55% of teams who take the first penalty in shootouts typically win. That's globally, so slight advantage from taking the first penalty. Now we're at the spot. Olger Escobar. With the left foot, it's saved. Great work. Di Rosario brings his side back level. It's 1 make each through 2 attempts. Now look at this one. Penalty is low, it's savable. Di Rosario guesses right, and he makes a big time save. So we're back to where we started. Sides are even. It's a best of 3 now at this point. And a chance, another debutant. It's debutant on debutant. Hassan Yari, the 21-year-old from New York City, coming in from the Sheffield United Academy. He was announced just yesterday as a new acquisition in the midfield. Came off the bench today, and that's his first penalty in his new colors. Very confidently puts it away. The third attempt is made. Maybe some words afterwards, but an embrace between him and Di Rosario. Really tough penalty to save, even if Gunn guesses right. 2 makes from 3. Joshua Bolma. Two goals and an assist last year. He came off the bench here today. Chance to bring his side back level in the shootout. Bolma from the spot. Oh, the stutter and the hop forces Di Rosario to sit down. We're still even. Brilliant finish from Joshua Boma. Now a chance, Theo Rigopoulos. Rigopoulos from the spot. Great save by Gunn. Dive into his right-hand side. Gets two hands to it. A fantastic save. It's a good penalty from Rigopoulos. Really hard to save, but Gunn using every inch of his 6'5" frame, and he gives his side the chance to take the advantage heading into the final attempt. It's Victor Souza. Very experienced at this level. Led the team in minutes played in 2023. A long run-up. Souza puts it home. It's 3-2. Di Rosario wants that one back. But now it's must-make territory after Souza put this one home. Mark Fisher steps up. Fisher has to score. Gunn dancing in goal. Fisher puts it away. We're back 3-3. But the 10th penalty is New England's. And they have the chance to win it with this one. Fisher's penalty was strong. Jack Panayiotou. He will take the 5th, potentially decisive penalty. Di Rosario has to stop it, or New England walks home with 2 points. Panayiotou to win the shootout. It's saved. Di Rosario guessed right, got across, and parries it. We go now to sudden death. Similar to the Gunn save, it's a good penalty. Got a bit of height to it, bit of distance, but it's saved. And it's 3-3. The chance now for Italo. On loan with the club from Sao Paulo FC. Joined back in March. It's his first penalty for his new side. He has a chance to set the tempo. Italo steps up. Off the underside of the bar and in. Cuts a composed figure after that one, finds the back of the net. In the end, it's a great penalty. Virtually unsavable. But took a lot of risk hitting the bottom of the bar, and now it's a chance for Di Rosario to seal the points for his side. Luka Borovic will be taking the 6th penalty. Borovic puts it away. We'll head to 7. No nonsense from the 18-year-old from Serbia. Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. digging deep. Marko Stojadinovic. We're taking the 7th penalty now. Oh, puts it onto the post. Trying to throw off Gunn with a quick take, but Stojadinovic puts it off the upright. And now a chance for New England to seal it. Tried to make it so Gunn couldn't make the stop, but just puts it wide. This is a big moment for the 18-year-old from Rhode Island. The 7th penalty. Alex Parvu, a chance to win it on his debut. Parvu puts it away. On his professional debut, he seals the 2nd point for New England. Five points now in the air for New England Revolution 2. He came off the bench for his first professional start, and Alex Parvu, a big moment for him. He'll celebrate with his goalkeeper as well. J.D. Gunn, the debutants, can celebrate 2 points as they head back to New England. A hard-fought match will be a point for Toronto, but in the end, they seal it with a 5-4 win after the shootout. East side's looking ahead for Toronto. Travel to Orlando next time up. Inter Miami will head to New England for their next game at home. We mentioned it a few times. 4 of the next 5 at home for New England. 2 points to bounce themselves into what they hope to be a good spell of form at home. The 2 teams embracing after this one. It was a late goal in the first half from Marcos Diaz that canceled out the first goal of the match from Julian Altobelli. Sent us to halftime level. We finished full-time level, and after the shootout for the 3rd consecutive time, New England Revolution 2 with a shootout win. We can look now at our man of the match from tonight's match. And who else could it be but the match winner on the extra point, Alex Parvu, with a big potential on his debut. And he is our Adidas man of the match. Parvu sends the keeper the wrong way, puts it home, and makes it 5-4 in the shootout and 2 points for his side on his pro debut. What a moment for the 18-year-old, one he won't forget for some time. It's been a pleasure to bring this one to you to kick off match week 6 between these 2 sides. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Jack Edwards. Once again, the final score being Toronto 1, New England Revolution 1. That one finishing 5-4 on penalties in favor of the Revolution. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.